of the public. Susanna, you can shake your head. This is...
I'm absolutely shaking my head because you said...
Hang on.
You repeated misinformation.
Are you aware? Are you aware?
Was under surveillance.
Are either of you aware?
You asked whether the
terrorism
truth is being withheld from us.
Well, of course it's being withheld. Look what happened in Nottingham.
Another biased interview with Nigel Farage in the mainstream media. All they do is attack him from the off. It's an interview, so there's nothing wrong with challenging him, but you can feel the hatred in her voice. He just makes her look like a complete fool each and every time, and the more he does, the more hostile she becomes. She makes the same arguments and parrots the same tropes as everyone else. Then she tries lecturing him on the rule of law and the justice system. She has a go at him over his views on immigration, and then her and her co-host accuse him of inciting the recent riots. This is her trying to disprove his immigration stance.
Here's the point. Most people that come into the country come on relatively low wages, pay very small amounts of tax, and overall are not benefiting the country financially. It's really interesting. The faster the rate of...
Sorry, why...
for the last
you can't blame them if they're on low wages for paying small amounts of tax.
No,
they'll pay tax in relation to their wages.
How do we pay for more GPs? How do we pay for more roads? How do we pay for all the things that we need?
Do you want to increase tax on those who come from overseas?
No, here is a fact.
Do you want to increase tax for those on low wages?
Hang on. The faster the population grows, the more we see a fall in living standards and wealth per head falling. And for the last 2.5 years, 7 consecutive quarters, we have seen average wealth for the individual fall as the population's exploded. This isn't working. And I'm not pointing the finger at any community.
Sorry, you are absolutely pointing the finger at immigrants. You can't deny that's the case.
I'm pointing the finger at government policy, which is flawed.
You could definitely point the finger at government policy, for example, on tax.
Yeah. Have you tried driving around the country lately?
Yes.
Have you tried getting a GP appointment?
Yes.
We literally have made, I think, a catastrophic mistake.
So all 700,000 plus are coming to work in the NHS, are they? Does that include all the men on small boats, still banning the "they're all surgeons and doctors" drum? All come to work in the NHS, but none will ever use it, we're told. She then says you can't tax low-paid immigrants more. I agree, that's not the issue, and Farage never made that argument. The point he made was they are here in the first place, lowering wages and taking more out of the system than they put in. He states the fact that the more the population increases, the lower our living standards become. But it's not what she wants to hear, so she just attacks him. Next, they get stuck into him over the recent riots.
Susanna, you can shake your head. This is...
I'm absolutely shaking my head because you said...
Hang on.
You repeated misinformation.
Are you aware? Are you aware?
Was under surveillance.
Are either of you aware?
You asked whether the
terrorism
truth is being withheld from us.
Well, of course it's being withheld. Look what happened in Nottingham. A triple murderer. Callacane, a triple murderer. It took us a year to find out that a senior doctor had said, do not let this man out or he will kill.
You're conflating two entirely separate cases.
The public deserves...
That's not how the rule of law works.
Do you know what? The public deserve to know the truth, and both Lord Carlisle and...
The truth was that the suspect was not under surveillance. The truth was that the suspect had...
Do you know that?
Well, you don't know that he was under surveillance. You just raised this spurious question.
And why do you think the riots happened in the way that they did?
Well...
Because there was a vacuum. There was a vacuum. People were not being told the truth.
The speculation was, online, was that this was a migrant who had committed this crime.
So why not kill the rumours? Do you know what?
And you cannot just, on camera, raise spurious questions which you know will inflame people.
Tell us the truth.
And then just...
How inflammatory is that?
We know as broadcasters, you can't just put false information out into the public knowing what happened.
Exactly.
You did.
No, but that's exactly what you did.
It was you doing it.
I'm sorry, guys.
It was you
You've got
doing
the wrong end of the stick. You're going along with a political narrative here. You are wrong.
Of course, it's all the right-wingers' fault, isn't it? Nothing to do with the government's contempt for the people, putting illegal immigrants before their own people, forcing migrants into already deprived communities. Of course, that's going to create resentment and anger. There is no excuse for that kind of violence, but a lot of it is the fault of the left and the government. The interviewer says Because of misinformation, they thought he was a migrant. He's trying to say it actually turned out to be a local Welsh lad. We all knew it wasn't going to be a local Welsh lad behind the attack. After the trial, we'll find out how relevant his immigrant background is to this case. People should, in future, wait for the facts to come out, of course, especially people in positions of power. But the fact is, the facts are often hidden from us, so it makes people paranoid and angry. They won't publish crime stats based on nationality. There can be no other reason for that other than it'll prove they commit more crime. So Nigel is right in that respect. Maybe one day this woman will learn some facts before she interviews him again.